Hello, hello, beautifuls. It's Maria, your benefitter, your insurance lady with a passion for wellness. I am your go to encourager that self care is our first line in healthcare. I am your well being advocate, your wellness bestie, your encourager, and your reminder that you come first. Self love first. Welcome again. So, on this channel, we talk all things protection, prevention, lifestyle, and pouring into you so you can protect your life, you can prioritize your health and well being, and let's live well every single day. So let's go ahead and get into today's episode. So, again, welcome to another episode of Well-Being Wednesday, Well-Being Women Wednesday, where we are protecting our peace of mind, we're prioritizing our well-being, and we're living well on purpose. And so today's topic was actually inspired by a question that I had from a client yesterday. One of the questions that she asked me was, can I go to both my primary doctor and GYN for my wellness exam? No, actually, she asked me, could my, that's another question I get a lot, but she asked me, could my primary care doctor do my pap smear? And so I was like, yes, this is something a lot of women don't know, or questions that come up a lot. So let's talk about it with Maria, your benefitter, right? So today we're going to dive into what do you expect, or what to expect during your annual wellness exam, what's covered generally under your insurance at no cost when you have an ACA, Affordable Care Act compliant plan. What's the difference between a primary care and the gynecologist exam, and how to basically avoid some surprises with our charges? So, you get that bill and you're like, I thought I wasn't supposed to pay anything, okay? But yeah, let's break it down all on this episode today, right? But before we do that, you know that I always have to start out with an affirmation. So let's start with the affirmation of the day. So I honor my body by showing up for my wellness with love. Yes, I honor my body by showing up for my wellness with love. So let that settle into your spirit today. Okay, so let's talk about your annual wellness exam. So what is it? All right. So this is a checkup that is covered at no cost by most plans, most insurance plans, thanks to the Affordable Care Act. So that means when you schedule your annual wellness visit with your primary care doctor, here's what you can expect on that exam. There is a list. So let's talk about what you can expect during that exam. So you can expect for your vital signs check, and that means your blood pressure, your heart rate, etc., right? You are going to sit down and have a consult to review your medical history and current medications, right? So you have your basic physical examination, lifestyle check. These are different questions that they're asking about your nutrition, your sleep patterns, mental health. Are you stressed? And then your screenings with your lab test is going to be based on your age and your risk factors. So they're checking for diabetes, your BMI, etc. And then again, they're asking you like your mental health screening. Are you depressed? Are you experiencing any anxiety? And if you're due for a pap smear pelvic exam for cervical cancer screening, your doctor, your primary care may ask you if he can do that for you, right? So basically, this is an opportunity to check in on your overall health before anything becomes a problem. It's preventive, not reactive, preventive care. And then to get referrals for anything else that you may need outside of your primary care doctor. So basically, after you have those assessments, if your doctor finds anything in your blood work, if there's different specialties that you may need to see, then that's when he's going to refer you to a cardiologist, maybe a urologist, maybe for diabetes, that would be your gastroenterologist. I'm sorry, your endocrinologist. Your gastroenterologist is normally if you're having some digestive issues. So that is when you will get like referrals based on what came back in your lab to see these others. The next thing would be like what preventative care is covered. So now let's talk about what's covered, because yes, there is a list. There's a list. So again, under the ACA, Affordable Care Act, most insurance plans must cover preventative services without charging a copay or applying it to your deductible when provided by an in-network provider. So, what does that include under that list of things? So, you have your annual wellness visits that are covered. We have a pap smear and pelvic examination, as we spoke about before. That is generally your cervical cancer screening every 3 years or every 5 years with an HPV test. Okay, these are the standards. You also have your breast cancer screening, a mammogram starting at 40. You have STI screenings. You have diabetes screening. You have your cholesterol and blood pressure checks. You have your depression screening. You have your contraceptive counseling. You have vaccines that are covered, generally the flu, shingles, and HPV if under 26. And the shingles also have an age. You have your bone density test, that means over 65 or postmenopausal. And then you have your colon cancer screening starting at age 45. That is covered. So basically, if your doctors are billing for these things are at no cost for you. These are preventative, not diagnostic. That means they're done before symptoms show up. But if they find something during the exam or follow-up tests, might be billed differently. And I can help you understand how that works, because a lot of people are like, oh, I went for my colon cancer screening and why I'm being charged. Well, they generally found something. So that becomes not generally preventative at that time. But there's certain ways, sometimes that you can get around that. But basically, these are the things that are covered for you through the Affordable Care Act at no cost. Now, let's go back to the original question that the client asked. Can I have an annual exam with my primary care and my GYN? Here's the key thing to remember. You only get one covered cervical cancer screening per year. So that's your pap smear and your pelvic exam. So if your primary care provider does that exam during your wellness visit, then your insurance will consider your preventative cervical cancer screening for the year done. So guess what? If you go to your gynecologist later and you ask them for the same exam, it might not be covered again. Well, it won't be covered at no cost, but it will go based on whatever your benefits are, if you have a copayment or if you have a deductible for that services, because it's already been billed for the year. So it will cost you something out of your pocket. And this is important because you can still see your GYN at any time for your medical concerns. Those become medical visits, not your annual. So if you're having irregular periods, you know you want to go for your birth control, menopause symptoms, maybe pelvic pain, and fertility. These are the things that are covered under the specialty of your OBGYN. And they're generally often subjected to your benefits, which is your deductible or your copayment. Okay, so here's my advice: choose which provider you want to perform your wellness exam for the year. Is it going to be your primary care doctor, or will it be your OBGYN? I recommend the OBGYN because they're already a specialty in that. And so what you would do is confirm ahead of time what screenings that they'll be performing for you. That way you're maximizing your coverage and you're avoiding duplicate services that won't be free. There's a lot of times you may get your explanation of benefit where it has been denied, and it will say duplicate of a service that has already been billed. And that's the reason. So what can you do next? Okay, so here's a small self-care action list for you. Okay, go ahead and schedule your annual exam if you haven't already done that, whether it's with your PCP or your OBGYN, or prefer your PCP and your OBGYN. Okay, ask what screenings are included when you're sitting with your or prior to your consultation. You can call your insurance, or you can speak with your broker, like me, to confirm what's covered. Right? You want to take advantage of every benefit your plan offers because you deserve it. You're worthy. You're paying for this coverage, so you deserve to utilize it and be fully aware of what your benefits are and take advantage of it, right? If you're not sure if you're due for a screening or if you don't understand how your plan works, I'm here, and I'm pretty sure if you have a broker, that broker is here, or you can contact your insurance company as well. I do offer free consultations to help you make sense of your benefits. I do show you how to view insurance easily, and also, if you have a high deductible plan and you're concerned about the cost, I can help you find affordable supplemental plans that can help pay for your accidents, sicknesses, and towards your doctor's office visits as well. So it's not like you're just not covered, you're actually cared for, right? So let's bring this all back home with a reminder to you that self-care, I believe, is your first line of your health care. It is the way that you're taking care of yourself, your well-being. Prevention is protection, okay? And asking questions is a form of empowerment. So I do hope today helped you feel a little bit more confident about your coverage and a lot more committed to your well-being. All right, that is your mental, your emotional, your physical, your spiritual, and your financial well-being. So do you have more questions? Drop them in the comments or send me by text. You can email me directly. All of my contact information is in the description. Okay. Lastly, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So turn on those notifications so you do not miss the weekly well-being, wellness, and insurance tips for yourself. Remember, we want to protect our life. We want to prioritize our well-being and live well. Happy Well-Being Women Wednesday. Remember, self-love her first. Regard your well-being as a priority.